Hello there, history lovers. Today we're traveling back in time to the Middle Ages. Get ready for a thrilling adventure in a medieval castle. It's cold, damp and smelly, but don't worry, it's exciting too. Imagine a huge stone castle rising from the misty countryside. See the tall towers reaching for the sky. Hear the clang of the blacksmith's hammer. Smell the roasting meat from the kitchens. Can you hear that? That's the sound of trumpets. The king is coming. Let's go inside and see what life was like in a medieval castle. Are you ready? Then follow me. Castles were like giant fortresses, standing tall and imposing against the landscape. These architectural marvels were not just homes for nobility, but also strongholds designed to withstand sieges and attacks. They were built for protection, with every aspect of their design focused on defense. The thick stone walls were nearly impenetrable, designed to repel invaders and withstand the test of time. They had thick stone walls, high towers, and heavy gates. The towers provided a vantage point to spot approaching enemies from afar, while the gates were fortified to prevent forced entry. The castle was a maze of rooms and corridors designed to confuse intruders. Navigating through these twisting passages was a challenge, even for those who lived there. The most important room was the Great Hall. This grand space was the heart of the castle, where the lord held court and important decisions were made. Everyone gathered here for meals and celebrations. Feasts were grand affairs, with tables laden with food and drink, and the hall filled with the sounds of music and laughter. It had a high vaulted ceiling and a huge fireplace. The architecture was designed to impress, with intricate carvings and decorations adorning the walls and ceiling. Imagine a roaring fire on a cold winter's day. The fireplace was not just for warmth, but also a symbol of the lord's power and hospitality. The kitchens were always busy. They were the engine room of the castle, where cooks and servants worked tirelessly to prepare meals for everyone. Cooks prepared enormous feasts for the lord and his guests. Don't forget the dungeons. These dark and foreboding places were used to imprison enemies and wrongdoers. They were dark and scary places, often located deep within the castle to prevent escape. Prisoners were kept here. Spooky. The conditions were harsh, with little light and poor ventilation, making it a truly dreadful place to be. And then there were the battlements. These were the defensive walkways along the tops of the walls, providing a strategic advantage during attacks. These were the walkways along the tops of the walls. From here, soldiers could patrol and keep an eye out for any approaching threats. Soldiers kept watch from here, always vigilant and ready to defend the castle at a moment's notice. They were always on the lookout for enemies. The safety of the castle and its inhabitants depended on their watchfulness and readiness to respond to any threat. Life in a castle was all about hierarchy. The structure was rigid, and everyone had a specific role to play. This hierarchy ensured that the castle functioned smoothly and efficiently, with each person knowing their place and duties. At the top was the lord. He was the master of the castle and held the highest authority. He owned the castle and ruled over the land. His word was law, and he had the power to make decisions that affected everyone living on his estate. He was a powerful man. He trained for battle, honing his skills to protect his domain and expand his influence. He fought wars for the king, demonstrating his loyalty and earning favor. His prowess in battle was crucial for maintaining his status and power. The lord's wife was called the lady. She was not just a figurehead, but played a vital role in the castle's daily life. She looked after the castle and everyone in it. Her responsibilities included managing the household, overseeing the servants, and ensuring that everything ran smoothly. She was in charge of the household. This meant she had to be organized and efficient, handling everything from food supplies to the well-being of the inhabitants. She had servants to help her. These servants performed various tasks, from cooking and cleaning to attending to the needs of the lord and lady.
Knights were warriors who swore loyalty to the lord. They were an essential part of the castle's defense and the lord's military power. They were brave and skilled in combat. Their training was rigorous, and they were always prepared to defend the castle or go to war. They protected the castle and its people. Their presence was a symbol of strength and security for everyone living within the castle walls. Knights spent hours practicing with their swords and lances. It was hard work. Their dedication to their training ensured they were always ready for battle. Servants worked hard to keep the castle running. They were the backbone of the castle, performing the essential tasks that kept everything in order. They cooked, cleaned, and did all sorts of jobs. From preparing meals to maintaining the cleanliness of the castle, their work was never-ending. Life was tough for them. Despite their hard work, they often lived in difficult conditions with long hours and little reward. Their efforts, however, were crucial to the smooth operation of the castle.
Section 4. Defending the realm. Medieval castles were built for defence. They had many clever ways to keep enemies out. Surrounding the castle was a deep, water-filled ditch called a moat. The moat was difficult to cross. It stopped attackers from reaching the castle walls. To cross the moat, there was a drawbridge. It could be raised or lowered. When enemies attacked, up went the drawbridge. That left them stuck on the other side. And if the enemies did manage to get close, soldiers could shoot arrows at them through narrow openings called arrow slits. The castle was like one giant puzzle for invaders to solve. Section 5. A feast for the senses. Life in a castle wasn't all about fighting and defence. There were feasts and celebrations too. Imagine a grand banquet in the Great Hall. Long tables are laden with food. There's roast meat, bread, cheese and fruit. Musicians play lively tunes on lutes and drums. People sing and dance. Jesters tell jokes and do tricks. Everyone is having a merry time. The lord and his guests ate with their hands. They didn't have forks back then. But don't worry, there were servants to bring water for washing.
The food might be messy, but the atmosphere is electric.
Servants did all sorts of jobs. They cooked, cleaned, carried messages and helped with the children. Life was busy in a medieval castle. The castle was a hive of activity with everyone contributing to its upkeep. Everyone had a role to play. From the lowest servant to the highest noble, each person had specific duties that were crucial for the smooth operation of the castle. Section 6. Keeping the castle running. A castle was like a small town. It had its own ecosystem with various trades and professions working together. It took lots of people to make it run smoothly. Blacksmiths were very important. They were the backbone of the castle's defence system. They made and repaired weapons and armour. The blacksmith's hammer rang out day and night. Without them, the castle's soldiers would be ill-equipped for battle. Stable boys looked after the horses. They fed them, groomed them, and ensured they were in top condition, and cleaned the stables. Horses were important for transportation and warfare. They were the lifeline of the castle, enabling swift movement and communication. The castle's success depended on the hard work and dedication of its inhabitants. Each person, from the blacksmith to the stable boy, played a vital role in keeping the castle running efficiently.
Section 7. One big, happy medieval family. So there you have it. A glimpse into the exciting world of a medieval castle. From the lord to the servants, everyone had a part to play. It was a tough life, but it was also full of adventure and excitement. Castles were more than just fortresses. They were homes, workplaces, and centres of power. They were a fascinating part of history. Next time you see a castle, remember all the amazing stories those old walls could tell.